My wife, without warning, randomly abandoned me to go find herself, left me a handwritten note on our kitchen table saying she needed space to discover her true identity, and disappeared with our $15,000 emergency fund. I was completely devastated, spent days calling her mom crying, begged her friends for any information about where she might have gone. Her family was just as confused as I was. That's when her best friend Sarah finally broke down and told me the truth after I'd been calling her for 2 weeks straight. Find herself? Dude, she's been planning this for months. She told me she was bored of being a wife and wanted to live like she was 22 again. She said marriage felt like a prison, and you were her warden. I was stunned. Sarah pulled out her phone and showed me screenshots of text conversations going back months. My soul-searching wife had been laughing about how gullible I was, calling me her safety net in case her big adventure didn't work out. She'd written things like, "He's so predictable, he'll probably wait around like a loyal dog until I'm ready to come back." Turns out this wasn't a midlife crisis at all. She'd been having an affair with her personal trainer Dave for 8 months. She convinced him to quit his job at the gym so they could travel Europe together and start fresh. She'd been feeding him this elaborate fantasy about how we were already separated and I was just a roommate helping with bills while she figured out the divorce. Sarah showed me more messages. My wife had literally written, "He's so pathetic. He actually thinks I'm going through some spiritual awakening. He bought me those self-help books and keeps saying he supports my journey." Reading those messages felt like getting punched in the stomach repeatedly. But that's when I decided to cut the safety net completely. I hired a private investigator who specialized in international cases. Cost me $2,000, but he found them in Portugal within a week. They were staying at expensive hotels in Lisbon and Porto, posting Instagram stories on new accounts about their European romance, living it up on our money while I was working overtime to cover the mortgage. But here's the thing Sarah didn't know. Dave was married too, and his wife Diana had no idea where he'd disappeared to. She'd been calling his gym frantically, filing missing person reports, thinking something terrible had happened to him. I sent Diana everything. Photos of them together, hotel receipts, screenshots of their romantic posts, copies of the trainer certification he'd abandoned, even the exact hotel where they were staying. I included a note explaining that my wife had stolen our money and that Dave had apparently stolen theirs too. Diana is apparently a lot more decisive than I am. 2 days later, I got a panicked international call from my wife. Diana had flown to Portugal, showed up at their hotel at 6 a.m. and caused such a massive scene in the lobby that hotel security called the police. She was screaming about stolen money and abandonment while throwing Dave's clothes and gym equipment into the hotel fountain. When the cops arrived, they found out my wife had been using a credit card that was technically still in my name without permission. Dave had outstanding warrants for unpaid child support back home that he'd been hiding from everyone. Both of them got arrested for disturbing the peace, and my wife got an additional charge for credit card fraud since I'd never authorized international purchases. They've been sitting in a Portuguese jail for 3 days now with no money because Diana immediately froze all of Marcus's accounts, and I'd already canceled our cards the day after she left. The bail is apparently $5,000 each, and neither of them can come up with it. She called me collect yesterday. Baby, I made a huge mistake. This was all Dave's idea. He manipulated me. Can you wire me bail money? I let her talk for about 5 minutes. Then I said, "Sorry, honey, I'm too busy finding myself right now. Maybe try calling your safety net." The dial tone never sounded so beautiful.